Well, I already know this is going to be a fantastic vintage Halloween hunt because I've never seen this witch blow mold before in person.
Hello, Ginkles and Goblins, and welcome back to the channel. Today's spooky adventure brings me on an antique hunt. That's right, going on an antique hunt to see if I can find any vintage Halloween, vintage toys, anything vintage. Now, I've been to this shop before here in Farmville, and they always have a great selection of Halloween blow molds. And yes, theirs are for sale, unlike some antique shops I've been to, but I'm not knocking that antique shop. The guy told me he's a collector, and honestly, I wouldn't want to get off my blow molds either. But it would be nice if he would sell a few of them, but thankfully I had most of them. But this one today, they sell everything, so what you see in the video is for sale. I don't know what we're going to find today. It's been a minute since I've been here. It's probably been about 9 months since I've been here, but it's definitely well worth the drive to come and check it out. What are we going to find? I have no idea, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to join me if you dare.
I got a black heart, it's a new start. Welcome to the spooky club. I got a black heart, it's a new start. Welcome to the spooky club. Take that! Join the spooky club.
WRAL-TV, courtesy of WKFT TV 40.
And I don't know if you grew up in a small town or if you still live in a small town, but you can see back there they've got a sign up that says the Dogwood Festival, which is the annual spring festival that Farmville has every year. They have like little carnival rides and all of that stuff. And funny story about this is my mom came with me and my daughter and my sister many years ago when we were on like the little mini Ferris wheel, which was really nothing. And my daughter started shaking it back and forth, and my mom started going into hysterics saying, "Get me off this thing! Get me off this thing!" We were literally...
Never again!
Yeah, exactly. You can hear my sister saying, she was saying never again, and the Ferris wheel was literally like not even 15 feet tall. Look at that. What an abandoned, beautiful home. Sitting here right in the middle of the city. The weeds have grown up all around it. That's probably one of the better looking abandoned homes I've seen. And they're all throughout North Carolina. Now, funny story about this little gas station here called the Zippy Mart. I now own a Simpsons arcade machine, but I used to feed quarters into this building back in the 1990s when they had the Simpsons arcade in there, and I used to buy bootleg Simpsons shirts. If anybody remembers the bootleg Simpsons t-shirts craze of the 90s, sound off in the comments below. Nothing says a small town like a Paramount Theater. Apparently Ride the Cyclone, the musical, April 1st through 4th. Ride the Cyclone sounds like you're going to ride a tornado. Seeing that it is tornado season in North Carolina as spring has sprung, I'm assuming that's probably what it's insinuating. And then you can see over here, Farmville's Got Talent. That's amazing. I lived in Farmville many years. I was a vocalist for a heavy metal band and played guitar. But we didn't have Farmville's Got Talent back then. If we did, I probably would have tried out for it. But yes, you're seeing that right. The town is actually named Farmville. How southern is that? Now, they normally put all of the Halloween blow molds in the window, but seeing that we're in the off season, I guess instead of how much is that doggy in the window, it's how much is that Godzilla in the window.
She's that doggy in the window, the one with the waggly tail.
This collection is not sold in stores. Give the gift of music to a child you love. Order now.
To order, send check or money order for $12.98 for 2 records or 2 cassettes, plus $2.50 handling and applicable sales tax. 2 all-time children's songs, P.O. Box 8449, Atlanta, Georgia 30306.
Well, I definitely knew that this place was going to be a home run for vintage Halloween because, like I've mentioned, I've been here before, and it's ironic that I just got finished doing all the Decades of Halloween series. And here's stuff from the decades I didn't touch base on, like the 1940s, the 1950s, and the 1960s. And you can definitely tell this is all original. This isn't reproduction stuff here. It's getting harder and harder to tell what's a reproduction and what's real, but you can definitely tell this stuff is kind of faded with age. Probably a lot of people had this stuff stored in their homes. Look at this old honeycomb here. Now I've got a scarecrow with a corn shock, but this is like the oldest one from like the 1950s. But as I was saying, even the skull candle back there, that's pretty cool. Look at the witch piece here. I'm guessing like a lot of this stuff comes from estates. It's probably been stored in basements or attics for years. Even the vintage Christmas pieces over here. I don't collect Christmas hardly nearly as much as I do Halloween, but it's still cool. Now check this out. Spooky Kooks Collegeville Phantom costume. I think the Phantom was, I'm not sure if I'm correct on this, but it seems like the Phantom was with Defenders of the Earth cartoon. I could be wrong on that. Then there's like this old school pirate Ben Cooper or Collegeville mask back here. That Spooky Spooks is pretty cool. I may have to try to get that today because I don't have a lot of Collegeville. I do have a lot of Ben Cooper, but not Collegeville. It's kind of got a steampunk vibe there just in time for Easter. The kind of creepy looking bunny rabbit up there. Oh wow. I've never seen this Wicked Witch blow mold in person before. I've seen it online many times, normally on Marketplace or eBay. Never seen this stack of jack-o'-lanterns either. See what I mean? Though some of them are kind of faded because back in the day, people would sit them out in their yards and all kinds of weather conditions would take a toll on them. Now, most of the time, people use their blow molds inside just for that fact. Now, this is what I'm considering my missing piece of my blow mold puzzle here. This guy goes for about $100 though right now. And this one I'm starting to see pop up everywhere. Seen them at a few thrift stores. I own it though, so definitely don't need it. We even have a Barbie Halloween edition. I think this is from like the late 90s or early 2000s. Flip it over and see what I can find here.
I want to wish everybody a happy and a safe Halloween. Have a happy Halloween! Happy Halloween!
And here's one for you. Talk about see you on the dark side. Here's a Halloween scare globe. Now I've got the big ET LJN, but I don't have the little mini ones. And there's something about the LJN products that I just absolutely love. The ET ones, the Roger Rabbit ones, the wrestling superstars, of course. Love all of these. The package on the back of this one is completely gone away. See what I mean? If it's not stored in the appropriate conditions, it just withers away to nothing.
My kids are wild about E.T. Now there's a whole collection of E.T. toys. This one talks. Oh. There's Elliot on his bike with E.T. and a spaceship. Here he comes. Aren't these little E.T.s cute? Wind this guy up, he walks. Almost like the real E.T. My kids really love their E.T. toys. They actually believe E.T. lives in their closet. The E.T. Toy Collection from LJN. Thank you.
Now I gotta say, this witch here from Snow White is creepy enough that you could take her out of the box and easily display her for Halloween. And what was I just talking about? LJN. And what do I stumble across? Who Framed Roger Rabbit as a little bendable figure. I don't own one of these, believe it or not.
Big news! McDonald's supersize cups now feature the stars of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I'm a coon.
Now at McDonald's, for a limited engagement, appearing on 3 different supersized Coca-Cola cups, the stars of the new movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Good time, great taste. Supersize makes it my place. The good time, great taste of McDonald's.
Big fun.
Now, I've touched base on EC Comics here on the channel before, but look at this one from Gold Key Comics. Gold Key did The Munsters. And this is one of my absolute favorite cartoons, right up there with Count Duckula from the early days of Nickelodeon. Dun, 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 Inspector Gadget. This may be a pickup today. I'm not sure. And look, even more Munsters. Got the Munsters action figures here. I remember when these were sold at Toys R Us many, many years ago. They were like $30 then, so the price hasn't changed a whole lot on them. The detail on these are great. I have the Lily Munster somewhere. You can see Marilyn and Eddie there. Also over $100 for that one though. So I take back what I said about the price not changing a whole lot, but Grandpa Monster, his price is remaining kind of similar to what it was at Toys R Us over a decade ago now. But I've got plenty of Munsters figures, not in the market for any of that stuff. Down here we've got some real Ghostbusters loose action figures. These are the ones from the late 80s. I definitely had my share of real Ghostbusters action figures. Cool pieces. I mean, these were always very, very fun to play with back in the day. I never had Slimer or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, though. I just always had the odd characters like Dracula, and I always wanted the Firehouse, but could never get the Firehouse. And over here, we've got some Alf toys. I thought these were the NECA Alf toys at first because the packaging looked so similar, but these are the ones from the late 80s. So NECA definitely did a great job in kind of replicating how these looked. These are from the Coleco brand. I never had any of these. I just had the Alf Burger King puppets. That's the only Alf merch I had back in the day. But Alf definitely was everywhere back then. They're not wowing me. The only thing that's wowing me is the Inspector Gadget and the Roger Rabbit from earlier. And the Spooky Spooks mask, of course.
Inspector Gadget may return after these messages.
And now back to Inspector Gadget.
And what in the heck is this? This is the Beverly Hillbillies? This is hilarious. Never seen this before. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If you've ever seen that before, sound off in the comments below. It's like Dick Tracy back here behind Inspector Gadget. And this is pretty cool here. The Munsters Coach toy. That is super cool, but that piece is like over $200. Gotta love the Munsters.
This is Alice Cooper, Master of Mirth, Phantom of Fright,
With a face like that?
and Monster of Rock.
That's true, Heinlein.
Join me on Halloween for the Monstrous Munster Mash Marathon, a freaktastic all-day resurrection of the most frightful sitcom in television history, The Munsters.
The Monstrous Munster Mash Marathon with Alice Cooper, tomorrow, starting at 4 East, 1 West, on WGN. Brought to you in part by M&M's brand chocolate candy.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Look at this. It's the inspiration for the Chucky doll. It's an original My Buddy. Pretty cool sealed The Lost World Jurassic Park action figure. I think that's an old Toys R Us clearance tag on it. And then here's a bunch of Mickey Mouse merch before he became a little bit nuts and became Steamboat Willie. But look at this. Swatch Watch. Haven't thought about Swatch watches in many, many years. Used to be what everyone wanted to wear. Long before there was an Apple Watch or any of that, we had Swatch watches. And up here we've got a super cool old Dark Shadows board game.
Bad boys, where are you? So I took my dog to the vet.
Swatch him! Ha ha ha! Swatch him! Never hands on the swat! Persistent and the swatch is water and shock resistant. Swatch him! Ha ha ha! Swatch him! Swatch! The new wave in Swiss watches. Swatch!
I was just mentioning Halloween postcards. Unfortunately, they don't have any of these, but this reminds me of the horror movie Uncle Sam. And for the Barbie collectors, you've got the little Barbie dog. That's right. At one point, Barbie had a fluffy dog here that had a swimming pool, I guess. It's too big to be its water dish, right? Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. Thought that was Howard the Duck at first. Who remembers this? It's got to be like a dollar store toy, the Workout doll from like 1985. And my sister's with me. She had her eye on this. Who remembers the Littles? I don't really remember much about the Littles, but it seems kind of familiar. And then How to Marry a Millionaire. Here's Marilyn Monroe 1982 doll. And it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Isn't it hard to believe that the original Annabelle doll, not the one that we see in the movie, but the original, is actually a Raggedy Ann doll? I don't think besides Mego I've ever seen an I Dream of Jeannie doll. And I don't even think this is licensed by Barbie. I do love the packaging on it, though. I don't even know for that fact if it's licensed by I Dream of Jeannie. I have one of these still, and I used to play it when I was a kid. The Wonderful Waterful Basketball. As a matter of fact, they reissued this at Target during Target's novelty retro Christmas toys last year. I see this Mickey's Clubhouse. This is another one that my sister was just talking about, but because there's about a 4-year age difference between us, this came out in the late 70s, so I don't really remember that. But I do remember these. I think these were from the late 90s, these Universal Monsters pieces that came from CVS Pharmacy around Halloween time. Super cool pieces. CVS and Walgreens, all of those places used to get in on Halloween and Christmas pretty heavy with exclusives. Sadly, those days seem to have come and gone now. It looks like they've got the entire collection here, even the Wolfman. I'm not seeing a price on any of them, though, but I used to have one of these. I think they were out around the same time the Postal Service was doing the Universal Monsters stamps.
Bandages, aisle 10.
This Halloween, you'll notice some new faces at CVS Pharmacy.
Pain reliever, aisle 12.
But don't worry, they're as cuddly as can be. You'll only find these Halloween beanbag collectibles at CVS. We've even got the classic films that inspired them. So stop by today.
Mommy, I want this one too.
Care that touches everyone. One at a time, CVS.
And in North Carolina, it's very rare that I see hair metal cassette tapes pop up at a thrift store. But we've got Motley Crue, Stryper, Led Zeppelin. Pretty cool. Anybody remember the old restaurant, Shoney's?
Hawaii, here we come!
It's charbroiled breast of chicken served with steaming rice.
I can see it now.
With grilled pineapple, tangy sweet and sour sauce, and Shoney's soup, salad, and fruit bar.
Come on, Shoney's!
It's Shoney's Hawaiian Chicken Dinner, plus your chance to win.
Hey, we're going to win a free Hawaiian vacation.
All 4 of us. Are we there yet?
Enter at your participating Shoney's, America's dinner table.
Hey, take your time.
And it looks like they've got a little concession stand back here also, because it looks like they do auctions as well. Now, that's not anything that I get involved in, but it is worth noting up here on the auction table, they have an Ozzy original Ultimate Sin vinyl record. Again, this was my introduction to Ozzy. It had Shot in the Dark and all of that on it. Great, great album. Oh, this is the Missy Hyatt Danger Zone NWA wrestling calendar from 1988. But now look at this. It's mainly men that watched wrestling, straight men, I would say. So I don't understand. The calendar had all men and only one woman. And see, out of all of them, it's only one woman in here, Missy Hyatt. She's actually really nice. I got to know her a few years ago. A few more cool vinyl records also. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, cool stuff. And a knockoff He-Man. I think these were like the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then behind it, there's Manny Faces. Love He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Excited for the new movie coming out, but it's got big shoes to fill because I think I'm one of the rare ones that loves the 87 movie.
I want He-Man! You could win one of 100 complete Masters of the Universe toy sets like this. 1 in 75,000 will win in the Nestle Quick Masters of the Universe Instant Winner Game. There are over 250,000 prizes. You can look for this Instant Winner Game card with specially marked packages of Nestle Quick. It's at your grocer's display, or you can get a free game card by writing to Nestle Quick Masters of the Universe card, P.O. Box 3636, Syosset, New York 11775.
Hey, heroes, how about some quick? Yeah!
All right, so as usual, that is one of the best stores around here. Now I'm going to do something I don't do a lot of, and that's show off my pickups. Now, as you saw, he had this Spooky Spooks. It's, what is it? It's Collegeville. I had to make sure it was Collegeville and not Ben Cooper. Phantom Mask from, I believe, the 1970s or the 1960s. There's going to be a video coming out documenting all of this, so stay tuned for that. He had it for $50. He said he'd been sitting on it for a while, so he gave it to me for $25. Half off for that. And it looks to be complete, so you can't beat that. But wait, there's more pickups. the little E.T. LJN for $5. E.T. is somewhat spooky, so you can't go wrong with E.T. $1 for the Simpsons Puffy stickers. And my sister's with me today, and she saw this, and she kept looking at it. It's the Littles family. It's got like a Stater Brothers price tag, which I believe was a grocery store. This is $5 sealed in the box, so I'm sure she's excited about that. And last but not least, well, there's actually two more things. With my grandson on the way, figure he couldn't break a bendable Roger Rabbit for $5. I've got one sealed in the package. This one's coming off of the bubble a little bit, so he can definitely open it up and play with it. And then it's sold at Walmart now, but this one is the original. The original inspiration for Chucky. My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me. This thing used to creep me out after I saw the Child's Play movie. $20.
Did they ever have one with red hair?
I don't know if they had one with red hair. They had one with blonde hair and brown hair. And at some point in time, I went a little nuts and decided to shave my buddy's hair after watching the Child's Play movie. I guess I figured I would get him before he got me. And I figured by shaving his head, I was like telling him, look, buddy, don't mess with me because I don't play around. So I don't know. But anyway, he's pretty beat up, but my grandson will love my buddy. And he's a lot bigger than the one at Walmart now that's the reissue. So it's definitely something for him to throw around. Seeing that my 20-year anniversary is coming up with my partner, and she's never on camera because she's very private and she likes to be behind the scenes. I didn't know what to get her, so she's a big fan of Marilyn Monroe. So I got her this cool Marilyn Monroe How to Marry a Millionaire action figure, doll, whatever you want to call it. $7 for this. You can't beat that. So I've spoiled my anniversary gift because she's going to watch this and she's going to see it now. So happy anniversary. Love you. But anyway, I love all things spooky, retro, and holiday related, and I do that all here on the channel. So if you're new here and you like this type of content, how about slashing that subscribe button and joining Derek BlackHearts Spooky Club? And until next time, I'll see you on the dark side.
I got a black heart, it's a new start. Welcome to the Spooky Club. I got a black heart, it's a new start. Welcome to the Spooky Club. Take that! Join the